New to kayak fishing? Well, make sure you don't make these 3 mistakes. What's up, everyone? It's Jose, and welcome to Kayak 101, powered by Casking. So, I've been kayak angling heavily since 2000. Right around when COVID hit is when I decided to get off the bank and get into a kayak. And there's a lot of mistakes that not only have I made, but I've seen friends and other people in the industry make. So, here are those top 3 mistakes that I've seen kayak anglers make. Number one, having a bad experience with very cheap gear. I get it. We all have budget constraints. Not everyone can go out and get the biggest and baddest kayak. And I totally understand that. And I recommend against that. But sometimes when you get the cheapest piece of plastic you can find at one of these big box stores, you may have a horrible experience in them. They're not very stable. They don't have anywhere to keep your gear. And honestly, for bigger guys, like if you're like myself, over 200 pounds, you just may have a horrible time out on the water in those. I've had friends that are taller that are saying their knees hurt, their back hurts, it's unstable, they feel like they're going to fall over all the time, and I totally get it. And that can happen easily with a lot of those cheaper kayaks. So I get it, you just want to test the waters and see if you only like it, but when you're getting a bottom of the line rig, then you may really have a horrible experience. And that first initial horrible experience, you just might be like, you know what? Kayak fishing is not for me. Now, polar opposite to getting the cheapest rig available is people that spend way too much. I mean, I dare you right now to get on Facebook Marketplace and look at how many Hobie PA14s, PA12s, I'm talking about big bona fides, autopilots that are for sale. They come fully rigged out with all the graphs, trailers, everything you can imagine, and read a description. A lot of them say practically brand new, used once, used twice, used 3 times max. And that to me is insane. I mean, those are five, six, seven, eight, $10,000 rigs that people have used 2 or 3 times. So that is just doing too much. You may not even like kayak fishing. I'm talking about, and it happens. So what I suggest is get you a used rig. Don't go out and say, I want that most expensive kayak and I want the matching trailer. I want all the screens. I want everything. And you're not even that serious about fishing. So save yourself a couple $1,000s and get a used rig. Go on Facebook Marketplace, find something, read the reviews. Look, what's a solid base platform for someone that's new to kayak fishing? Number three, the biggest mistake that I see new kayak anglers make, and that is not enough time on the water. Yeah, as simple as that sounds, that is just crazy to me. People that always want to upgrade or they want to do this, or they say they don't like this, or say they don't like that, and they didn't even necessarily give it a correct try. 2, 3 times out on your kayak out on the water, that's still, you're just figuring out. You're still figuring out your balance. You're still figuring out where you like to put stuff. I mean, for me personally, even now, even though I've been out on this kayak just within the last 90 days, I've been on it more than I did on my last kayak in 3 years. But I'm still, every time I go out, I'm like, all right, I don't like this. Maybe I need to put this here. Okay, I don't like having this all the way out here. This needs to be put over there. And I'm just barely figuring things out, understanding the limits. Like, okay, I can't lean too far this way. Okay, I can't lean too far that way. Figuring out the steering system with my motor. Doing all of that is something that you only get by experiencing more time on the water. And even when purchasing all the accessories, and I get it, you go on Yak Attack's website or you see all these crazy builds online and you're like, dude, I gotta have those accessories. If I had that accessory right there, that would make my life so much better. But see, what you're doing is you've got gas. No, not the gas that hurts your stomach. We're talking about gear acquisition syndrome. And that is something you don't necessarily want to have because then you're just buying stuff. And take it from me, this isn't a mistake that I've seen people make. This is a mistake that I've made. I see a new accessory come out and I'm like, you know what? I gotta have that accessory. That is exactly what I need. And I put on my kayak and I'm like, I have zero use for this. I just spent all that money and I might use this. No, don't buy gear and then create the problem for that gear and the justifications to put it on your rig. Now, if you're out on the water and you're like, okay, this sucks, I need this, then go buy that piece for it to solve that problem. So those are the three mistakes that I've not only seen other beginner anglers make, but I've made them myself. And that's one, going too cheap and completely hating that experience. Number two, spending too much money, getting a big rig, and then you're like, dude, this thing is too heavy. I hate it. I don't want to deal with it. And then number three, gear acquisition syndrome, just going out and buying way too much stuff and figuring out I don't need it. This was a complete waste of money. Only thing I really need to do is get on my kayak, get out there and catch more fish, because that's what it's about, right? It's about getting out on the water and catching more fish. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you everyone for that's watching and been supportive of this series. Let me know what other mistakes maybe you have had or you've seen people make down below in the comments, and make sure you're liking and subscribing. And if there's any other topics that you would like me to cover in this Kayak 101 series, let me know down below and get to work.